Back in the days when I first saw the film Diva, a Pittsburgh lout named Chris Konigsberg wrote an article about the Tamburetsons, I think it was, and he called it the Rat's Nest, I think. And the bank house was owned by a Zionist Israeli extremist named Andy Schechter. And they set in motion a play. What religion means in the city of Pittsburgh is a play that they put on in a food fight. So it's nativist play acting various religious formulas while they were pimping successive degradations. I mean, they tortured me as a child and made clear that they wanted performance from me. They used that word. And they also made clear that I would never be eligible for marriage. They locked me out of a church. His name was Sean Brooks. And he wormed his way into open relations with Amanda Harcourt and Tony Levin, who sing song various crybaby stories in their Licky Chops Cinema Guild. So the whole thing was to make movies. It's part of Ono's Shinto atheism. And it was by the Mr. Rogers Crossroads church. And back in the old days, Leonard Nimoy would come to visit the area. And you might know Benjamin Spock started towering over Martin Luther King. And they were secretly taping King's extramarital affairs. So you can see where the wizard room of the Rolling Stones was Licky Chops. And Eric and Claire were the government in the area. There was Spock is highly illogical. Get it, abortion and extramarital affairs. Mr. Rogers, you are so funny. Claire was also the name of a woman who would wrap her head in a turban. And while Joel Kaplan went around whispering to everybody, Queerball said this, Queerball said that, Queerball said this, Queerball said that, and looted the museums for Celeron Street, setting up the Kelly School Fair and so forth. Claire would holler that she had been raped. She was a Pittsburgh filmmaker working with a German dude named Till, who was working with Gail Burston's partner, David Bronstein, on the Kathy DiPietro attack. She spelled her name with two E's because it means extermination example. And she, of course, wore a turban. She was raped, so she wears a turban. She has to protect the Jew from what what she called the madness of King George. In other words, watching the teapot kettle go off with Dr. Mackenzie when the neuroplasm put me into seizures from forces impinging on the persona's experience. And this Rosa babe who was living in the Jewish Israeli carriage house, whose friend from Africa, whose diva of Mickey Obama was living on Bartlett Street. Bartlett Street was where Sue Elkind lived, no longer afraid. She had a redheaded guy named Al who would climb the Android zone for, Allen Ginsberg type rat's nest madness in his poetry. And this whole hanky-pank scene was surrounded a group called Guerrilla Theater. One of their sweethearts, Stanley Myron, used to say, U.S. out of North America. They all knew that I had been kidnapped and tortured. And they all knew that they were standing over me saying one word and we're going to kill you. They all knew. That's Pittsburgh. And they called it religious teaching when really it's Ono Shinto Hollywood at work. So Claire lisps that the films I watch daily you get the idea. You figure out who Mick is and that.